Good morning, everyone. Good morning to you. Please, if you can hear me, I want to be sure that my audio is great. If you can hear me very clearly, just put a message in the chat box so that I can know my audio is good. You can just type yes in the chat box. I want to be sure that you can hear me clearly. Great. All right, thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. Thank you and good morning, everyone. How is your Saturday? Thank you for joining us in another session of the Pipsoclock webinar. And today we'll be looking at a very interesting topic. And I'm so sure that you're going to learn a lot from the topic. This is a series of webinars that is organized by Pipsoclock, pipsoclock.com. Pipsoclock is a community of forex traders. And what we do is that we bring together new traders, new forex traders, experienced forex traders in a community where we can help each other to grow and to become profitable trading the forex market. So if you have been following us on our on our website, you'll see that we have a website where you can learn from one another, where you can get access to different content like articles, like signals, like reviews and analysis of all sorts. So that's what we provide, and we are doing this to basically help all the forex traders in our community to grow. We also have the academy where new traders have access to video training, which will take them from a new forex trader to an experienced and profitable forex trader. So that is what we do in the Pipsoclock community. And at different times, we have webinars like this where we treat different topics. Also, if you are conversant with the user portal of our community, you will see that we also have the recorded version of our previous webinars. So you can always go back to the recorded version and learn over and over again. So we'll be getting started. We have our forex analyst here, an experienced forex trader and businessman, Mr. Ifeanyi Uche. I'll be handing over to him shortly, and I would want to implore us that we should please stay to the end of the session. There's a lot of things that we have in stock for you. We'll tell you about other things that we do and other things that you can benefit as a member of the Pipsoclock community. Once again, I want to welcome you, and I appreciate that you are taking, the time, from your Saturday morning to be with us and to also learn from what we want to share with you. During this session, you would also have opportunity to share your knowledge, to ask questions, and any other thing you would like to share with us, we would want to also hear about them. So thank you so much for joining us this morning. We are going to get the session started right now, and I will hand over to Mr. Ifeanyi Uche. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. All right, so we'll go straight to the topic. I think, okay, let me share my screen. Do I have the privilege?
Yes, sir, please go ahead.
Okay. Okay. All right, I'll be sharing 2 or 3 screens as we progress. All right. Okay, so good morning, everybody. If you can hear me, you could just give me 111 in the chat box. If you can hear me, you can see my screen, you can hear me, type 111 in the chat box. If you can hear me, and you can see my screen, you can hear my voice, you can see my screen. Can I see 111 in the chat box? If I don't see, means nobody's hearing me yet. Okay, great. Thank you, Douglas. Thank you, Naeem. All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Great, thank you. All right. So my name is Ifeanyi Uchi. So I'll take us through this. Thank you very much. Thank you for the confirmation. Right. So you see, I'm not running this through a PowerPoint presentation because the topic for me is more of a practical kind of topic that doesn't require too much grammar. Is something we just need to quickly delve into it and get down to the main theme. But I have to read through this so that we know what to expect. I have to go through it so we know what to expect. For example, here we have how to profit from volatile news events for both beginner and pro Forex traders. Because whether you are just beginning in Forex trading or you are already a pro, news events, volatile news events affect every trader in one way or the other, so long as you find yourself in the market. So in this webinar, we're going to be covering the following, which are the things you will learn: what volatile news events are and how they can affect the Forex market, how to identify the most important volatile news events, how to develop a trading plan for volatile news events, how to use technical analysis to identify trading opportunities, how to manage your risk when trading volatile news events, and then case studies and examples. Now, for the case studies and examples, of course, we'll just refer back to some historical studies, and then we'll have our Q&A. Now, in the first question there, which is what are volatile news events? Now, without really reading through that, it's just to let you know, this is something you can actually read up also, but I'll just do a bit of explaining, because sometimes you'll be trading and jejely on your own, and all of a sudden, a position that was working in your favor has moved 5-10 pips in your favor and you're happy. All of a sudden, everything will just go and it goes the other way. I don't know who has experienced that before. I remember several years ago, 2009 precisely, it was on a Wednesday. I don't forget that easily, that very day. I was trading. I had open positions that I left off from the previous weekend. And then so by the time it wasn't positive, the open position was not positive. So I allowed it to run through the weekend. So by Monday rather, I continued monitoring it. It still wasn't getting any better. So I kept following up on it. So I was able to be taking some profits along the way and opening some new positions. By then, I didn't really know how to do hedging well. So you know that most of us do emergency hedging. You know, when the thing has moved against you, you now want to start with opening position, opposite the position, and gradually see how whether you'll be able to recover. That's what most of us do, and we call it hedging. So that was what I actually was doing then. And as I was struggling with it, I thought I was almost out of the situation. Two instances I will tell you. So it so happened that was in that should be around April. So around 7 p.m. I was watching my position. I had about $2,000 in the account. I was watching the position, and all of a sudden, 7 p.m., the thing just turned against the position that I thought was about recovering. And see, where I was seated, from my head to my toes began to shake. Why? In fact, goosebumps was all over my body, and everything just went down within a few minutes. By the time I tried to check what was happening, lo and behold, there was a news event. What was the news event? FOMC, Federal Open Markets Committee's release from the US. That's the day they do talk about the financial statement of the American economy. They talk about the Fed reports, the interest rate, and all that. So the FOMC minutes was released that night. I wasn't aware, I wasn't paying attention to it. And so the thing just dragged all the money, and I got the margin call that night. Another instance, the same 2009, around June of 2009. Now, I hope you are following me to see the sequence, and I can recall the months. I may not really get the exact dates, but some of that I can call the date for you, right? So this was in June of 2009 also. So I had this account again, another, I think this should be either a $10,000 account. All right, I have been managing it, and then suddenly the unexpected happened again. So while I was trying to recover from it, so I think that day was a non-farm payroll day. So I was there and opened the position, and I thought I was recovering. It was GBP JPY this time around. So the GBP JPY that particular year, if you go and trace it back, should be around 250 something, the yen. So I was holding it, it was going up. And it had been going up, it had been on a bullish ride for a while. So while I thought I was recovering my money, all of a sudden, around 2 p.m., a few minutes after 2, all I just heard was as if they threw a heavy shot put ball from the sky, and it just boom. My account depleted from the thousands that was in the account. It depleted to around 240 something within minutes. And interestingly, this was a position that I've been monitoring from the previous day, from 2 p.m. of the previous day. In fact, I could remember that period that I was watching that market. The thing I've been battling with it for 24 hours. I couldn't remember whether I slept or not, because but the room where I was trading, the person that came to visit me that was in that room with me that day, I think that lift to another room or so, but the message I got was that the room was hot. What happened? The heat that was coming out of my body made using, all right, made whatever was happening in the room nonsense. Whatever chilling system I have there to be nonsense. So, and I sat down from 2 p.m. the previous day to 2 p.m. the following day when that incident happened. As soon as it happened, I calmed down. So the following day, I sent a message to late Dr. Jagbase. I told him, sir, it's as if I have not arrived. So immediately he read that email, he called me and said I should see him in the office. And a lot of things were going on in my mind during this period. And then he said, don't do that you are thinking of doing. And there are a lot of things I was thinking of doing, which I wouldn't want to mention here. So and then he said, don't worry, go. God will show you what to do and do it. All right. Now, bottom line, that's what you can get in the market. I can see that emoji. That's the way it happens. So, bottom line, because I wasn't paying attention to this simple matter of news events, those two incidents, right? Those two incidents took me unawares. The same thing is still happening to lots of traders today, both new and old traders who don't pay attention. Someone may tell you, I'm a technical trader, I don't need to trade news, I don't need to know anything about fundamental analysis. Hey, if you had better pay attention to what we're about to discuss. Because if I had known about those things, these things I'm about to share today, I wouldn't be in the mess that I found myself. Because volatile news events, they kind of bring about unexpected reactions from the markets. You won't really say they're unexpected, but oftentimes it's unexpected. How many of you, let me find out now, how many of you can remember the year 2020 when the US and Iraq were having that issue, and American soldiers killed one of the generals in Iraq. Who could remember that incident? If you can remember the incident, just type Iraq in the chat box. Donald Trump, if you remember, Donald Trump, Iraq, and then an Iraqi general was killed by the US Army. Remember that incident? If you can remember it, 2020, just type Iraq in the chat box. I want to be sure. If you can hear me, you remember that incident in 2020 about, okay, first of all, before I even go to that, how many of us here have been trading Forex since the last 5 years? Maybe that's where I'll begin, because if I ask that, then if you're not there yet, okay, you haven't started, okay, good. So that's the, okay, thank you. Now, there are many of us may not remember it. So let me just go ahead and talk about that. So when the US and Iraq were having issues in 2020, and beginning of 2020, that actually affected, good to say, Donald Trump killed, his soldiers killed an Iraqi general. It was a really serious issue. You can go and Google it online after this, after listening to this webinar, after this webinar, right? And that affected the Forex markets globally. It affected it a lot. It affected Forex, it affected currencies, it affected gold, it affected a lot of instruments. There was high volatility. 2020, beginning of 2020, that's the date, beginning of 2020. Early 2020, the whole matter was just working like that. So Iraq and US fiasco, that period. All right, so 2020, between US and Iraq, it was a silent war. And the US killed one of the Iraqi generals that period. If not Iraq, it will be Iran. One of them. Either, okay, Iraq was Saddam Hussein, right? So it should be either Iraq or Iran. Just check one of those two. Anyway, so that's just the impact of news events. You may not be aware of it. Some other times too, you leave a trade open on Friday because something happened, and then you wake up Sunday night, yes, when the market resumed, only to see that your account has been taken to the cleaners. Another instance also happened during the Brexit. When Brexit was hot, the debate on Brexit was hot. You know, two US prime ministers, two UK prime ministers paid the price over Brexit. Remember the lady, woman prime minister of Britain? What was her name again? She had to resign over Brexit and so on. So now, when the referendum began, the night, the referendum was going on, by the following morning, GBP USD, all GBP pairs, a lot of things happened to them. High volatility, those who are on the right side made money, those who are on the wrong side of the market lost. All right, I was saying that if you could check your charts, as a matter of fact, we can do that together quickly because I just want to do this thing so that we'll have an understanding and know why this is important before I now get into this thing. I hope I'm back, right? Okay, thank you. My network was, but I had to change to another connection. All right, now let me quickly share a chart. Let me share a chart, and then let's see if we can go, while I'm talking, let's see if we can go back to that 2011 rather. Can you see my screen for the what's it called now? The trading platform. You can see my trading platform. Great. Okay, yeah, good. All right, now, okay, let me set this to weekly, and then I'm going to pull it to 2009. Let me see, pull it to 2011. I keep saying 2009, 2011. Now, just follow, this is USJPY. I'll do the same thing for USJPY, 2011, March. This is 2011. Good, 2011. So just watch where I put the crosshair. Look, this is it. Just where I put the crosshair. Can you see this? This is March. If you put this, can you see that? 13th March, right? Now, I didn't rehearse what I'm showing you right now. I just tell you, check the date there, 13th March, right? This is on weekly time frame. This is 2011 March, USD, Euro JPY. I'm going to open GBP JPY to show you the same thing that happened, because I know how many hedge funds that were cleaned out when this thing happened. We woke up in the morning and saw this. Let me open to GBP JPY. We're still going to go back to the same 2011 March. Okay, so I pick my crosshair again. Now, please, you have to confirm for me now. Can you see this again, March 13th? If you can confirm that, right, type March 13th for me. Type March 13th on the chat. But if you can see GBP JPY, this is GBP JPY. Type GBP JPY March 13th. If you can see what I just showed you now, March 13th, GBP JPY, March 13th. Oh, type, okay, good. That's a great spike. I just wanted March 13th. Good. Now that's for GBP JPY. Now let's look for another JPY pair. This time, let's see if we can find USD JPY. USD JPY. Okay, March 2011, March 13, 2011. So the reason I'm showing you that, so that you see that all of them have the same date, it happened to the same pair. We woke up in the morning and saw that, and a lot of accounts were wiped out because of these hedge funds, big hedge funds managing millions of dollars. Look at that. Can you see that again? If you can confirm this, type USD JPY March 13. If you can confirm this, if you can see this spike again, USD JPY March 13, type it on the chat box. Great, thank you. Good. Let's find another JPY pair, one more, so that we can move on to the next. Let me pick AUD JPY. Okay, AUD JPY, and go to March 13, 2011 again. Okay, here is it. If you can confirm it, type AUD JPY March 13. AUD JPY March 13. All right, so you can check that on your own. You can check that on type AUD JPY March 13 to confirm that also. This is it. Now, all this happened because there was an incident. Thank you very much. All this happened because there was an incident in Japan overnight. That it was we call it an air tremor or whatever. It was a quake that affected a lot of things, the livelihood in Japan. So that thing affected all JPY pairs in one night. And guess what? As the thing dropped, it began to rise again. It began to rise again. That's why you see the spike showing here. Still showing here. So it happened in one day. So that's the impact of news events. So let me get back. So volatile news events refer to significant and often unexpected developments or announcements that can, including the Forex market. These events typically result in rapid and substantial price movements in currency pairs and other assets. Okay. Now, oh, why did that? I don't want this network. Why is it collecting this? Sorry, please, let me change. I don't want this to the former one that had issues. Okay, good. All right, I'm back there. Okay, now here are some examples of volatile news events in the Forex market so that you start paying attention. After paying attention to this, I'll take you to the calendar, and from there, we'll now talk about how to trade it. It's as simple as that, right? And I've given you some instances now, which I said, because if we were to be live, it would have been more, it would have been much better for us. But still, what you learn tonight or this morning, by the time you take it back, you'll see that your trading will improve when it comes to news events. Now, here are some examples of volatile news events in the Forex market. You have economic data releases. All right, non-farm payroll, GDP and all the GDP growth and all that. You have central bank announcements when they make decisions, like the one I told you that happened to me about FOMC in 2009, March, April. Then geopolitical events like elections, 2016 elections that brought in Donald Trump, affected the markets and all that. And the one that the type that happened in 2015 in Nigeria, that one affected the stock market in Nigeria when the election concluded then and the incumbent was defeated. You heard that the stock market in Nigeria moved, appreciated so well, more than in over 50 years before it began to adjust to reality. All right. So, corporate earnings reports for companies. Now, these ones too can actually affect the markets, even though they are for the stock market. But some companies, performances can be linked to the currencies, particularly in countries where they are located. Then you have the black swan events. These are rare and unexpected occurrences that can have a profound impact on markets, such as global financial crisis of 2008. You remember that 2008 global crisis affected as when the global crisis of 2008 started, as it lingered into early 2009, it appeared before, because the way I used to trade the news events was as they were releasing them. But by 2008, 2009, the market began to behave otherwise. And that was where the approach I'm going to give you today, became useful. All right. Before, as soon as the news will sit and be waiting for it, and I'll still tell you a bit about that. Then, of course, the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, these events can cause extreme volatility and uncertainty. So there's a need for you to understand this, and risk management is very crucial if you are trading this. Now, let's look at how to identify most of the events, how to identify the most important volatile news events. How many of you here know about Forex Factory? You know about FX Street? Type the one you know of. Any news sites where you can get economic calendar, type it on the chat box. Let me see. Once you know. How many news events do you know? Type it in the chat box. Type the ones you know in the chat box. Which news events do you know? I'm opening the chat box to see which news event, which economic calendar, which website that gives you economic calendar that you know of. Type it in the chat box. Which economic calendar do you know of? Which website do you go to? Which website do you know of that we can go to right now to check? Forex Factory 1. Yes, thank you, Shegun. All right. Who else? I need more information. Which website do you go to for economic calendar? I'm waiting for others. If you don't care, Forex Factory, thank you. Right. Who else? Forex Factory. Everybody goes to Forex Factory. Fantastic. All right. Have you heard about Action Forex? Okay. Forex Factory or Trading Economics. Great. Good. Now, have you heard about Action Forex? Have you heard about FX Street? Okay. So I like Forex Factory. There is also forexpeacearmy.com, forexpeacearmy.com. So I'm going to open the browser again to show you. Let me quickly open a web page, and then we go to the browser where I will now show you some others. Okay, I'll open this one. So let me open, Forex Factory already. So let me open to, what's it called now? forexpeacearmy.com. All right, that's one. So while that one is opening, I will now open FX Street. This is fxstreet.com. So this is the one I like using a lot, okay, for my analysis. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Your favorite FX, FPA, yeah, Forex Peace Army. Thank you very much. Yes. Good. All right. Now, Forex Peace Army used to be forexbastards.com in those days, 2007, 2008. Forex Bastards, they used to call them. From there, they migrated and became. Also, you have forexsecretsociety.com, owned by the same people, before they became Forex Peace Army and modified up to this point. All right. So as of 2007, they were called forexbastards.com. Actually, the people they call bastards are the scam brokers. There's a broker somebody was telling me about during the week. In fact, it was last week, he told me he placed order for withdrawal of $750 2 weeks ago. So as of last week, he said for 1 week, they told him to be patient, that they had volumes. So that's why they had not honored his withdrawal. I'm like, excuse me. So this week, yesterday again, 2 days ago, no, it was yesterday. Yes, yesterday again we were discussing again. I asked how far. He said they are yet to release the funds. He has sent messages, he has sent mails, and they said they are working on it, that they will pay him. Very well. That's why I want to politely advise you, be careful of the broker that you use. If $750 is going to take a broker 1 whole week, 2 weeks to release to a trader, not that is $7.5 billion, then there's fire on the mountain. You have to be very careful of the broker that you choose to use. So that's why Forex Pisami actually came into play. They track scam brokers, they review brokers, and they also try to do their best to help brokers. In fact, 2007, there was a particular broker then that by the time they did the investigation, they found out it was a husband and wife that was running the brokerage from their living room. But then it wasn't hidden for long and they were out of the space. So you have to be very careful about the broker that you go for. So now you have fxstreet.com. So what do we do? The next is, how do we get to know the high impact events? So if you look at here now, see what I did on FX Street. If you can see my FX Street screen, type a yes there. Or you can just type FX Street. Let me zoom it a bit. If you can see my FX Street screen, type FX Street in the chat box. If you can see my FX Street screen, okay, great, thank you. Now, when you are here, I will show you on Forex Factory too, okay? So what I do, if you look at this, you see you just have 2 colors here, orange and red. Red here represents high impact, while orange here represents medium impact. So what I just did here is to filter out. You can see filter here, filter. So I come here, I choose the events I want. Now, if I don't want to trade anything connected to Switzerland or to any of these, I will just uncheck them. But since I want them, okay, because one way or the other, even if I'm not trading the Chinese yuan, in one way or the other, what happens to the Chinese economy somehow can affect the Japanese yen and all the global economy. So that's one. Then you scroll down, okay, come to impact. You can see here, under the impact, I told it I unchecked non-impact and low impact, because non-impact, but particularly when there is maybe bank holiday or something, you'll still see it show there. So I just don't want all those. I don't want anything that's of low impact. So I unchecked it. I just only checked high impact and medium impact. And then under categories, give me bonds auctions, give me economic activity, inflation, capital flows, give me all of these. And then apply filter. So that's how you just filter that out. So that shows you now about the economic events to pay attention to. All right. So now the way it is now, next thing is that's for FX Street. Let's go to Forex Factory and see how to do it. Okay, let's first off look for if you want to use the tool with Forex Pisami, if you come to tool, there you see the economic calendar. All right. So in the economic calendar too, you also can filter out. You can filter too. So you just select to filter out the events that you know that will have low impact. You can see low impact. You can see impact here. I'll just uncheck low. You can see I remove that. So I want only medium and high impact events. You can see what happened as soon as I click on that. That's for forexpsami.com. Now, if I want to use Forex Factory, I can repeat the same thing. So what I just do also is just to go to filter. Let me see, settings. Yes, settings. There you scroll down. Okay, sorry, see impact here. Let me go back, sorry. Let me go back to calendar. So now in Forex Factory, first off, check this. You see here that in Forex Factory, you have red and orange. Red here stands for the high impact, while orange here stands for medium impact. Yellow is for low impact. White is for no impact. So you just come to filter and then you uncheck this one and uncheck this one and then apply filter. Anyone you don't want here, You also want to check. If you don't want anything related to any of the currencies here, okay, this is for Chinese one. If you don't want it, you can uncheck it. Since you don't trade it, you may want to remove it, but it doesn't hurt. So you just leave it there, apply. So it has removed all those ones for me. So if I will now focus on the high and medium impacts. So that's that. Let's quickly get to the next thing to know from our outline. So on the outline, next thing now is you have identified the most important volatile news using the criteria I just showed you. Next is to now develop how to develop a trading plan for the volatile news events. And what I can see here, if you can read what I just wrote there, type it on the chat box, go. You can read, if you can see that, type it in the chat box. What anyone I highlight, just type it in the chat box. Let me be sure you're following. Anyone I highlight, just type it in the chat box. I'm waiting. I am waiting. If you can see what I just highlighted now, type in the chat box. Okay, great. That's go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, that's the first thing to do. What is your trading goal? What's your trading goal now? Don't mistaken goal and target. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Go. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Prof. Thank you. Thank you. Great. Goal, I'll take them one after the other rather than just call out the list. When setting a goal, because when you talk about a trading plan, you begin with your goal. When setting a goal as a trader, you don't, your targets are not your goals. Your targets are not your goals. What are your goals? Goals have to do with the thought processes that go on in your heart, in your mind, that will make you to begin now set the activities to do that will enable you to achieve those targets. For example, now your goal, if you say my goal, trading goal is to make 50 pips or $50 a week, that's not a goal, that's a target. And that's the mistake a lot of traders make. If you set it, say, my goal is to make $100 a month, or to make $50 a month, or 50 pips a week, that's not a goal. When you talk about goal, anything that has to do with you becoming, that's a goal. Anything that has to do with you having is a target, or reaching something is a target. So let's separate both. So now for a goal, you want to become a profitable trader, a consistently profitable trader. No matter the type of strategy you use, that's a goal. So in Forex now, okay, I want to be a consistently profitable trader. For example, when I began trading in 2007, one of the first goals I set was that, because within my first 2 weeks, as a trader, I blew up my account. Now, we have been told already that Forex was a gold mine. In fact, if you read some adverts in 2007 back then, you'll see some people using full-page Guardian to advertise and tell you that I'm coming. I'll read your listing because I can't concentrate with reading the lengthy text now. When I finish, so talk about 2007. When you read some of the ads, then you pick money on the streets. You pick one on the streets. So a lot of this has made a lot of people to do a lot of crazy things. You see somebody closing down his or her shop to want to come and put it in Forex. It was a story. It was a really sorry thing that people were really doing then. And I got somebody, a lady, calling me back then and saying that she wanted to sell her shop and pour the money in Forex. I told her, madam, don't dare it. Don't dare it. Now, because why? People have been setting targets thinking it's goal. So one of the goals I set back then was that after losing, and then I started recovering, and then went back to training, to learning, was that within the next so and so period, I want to become one of the at least top 10 known Forex traders in Nigeria back then. And so how was I going to do that? I hadn't started doing anything about coaching anybody in Forex, but so in the course of time, because that was my aim, I began to study. I began to educate myself, equip myself with information. And before I knew it, I started helping out people with signals, with training, with articles, and all of that. And did I achieve that? I was close to it. But then, inside of that, I thought I had arrived, because it was almost like, it was almost like a smooth ride through until 2009, when the first major loss hit me. Because in those days, 2007, 2008, after the loss, I recovered and then began to, it was like, man, we're there. So when people complain, I was like, no, this is easy. So I had to like, okay, bring your account, let me trade for you. And it was bring your account, let me trade for you, that eventually put me in trouble. That I told myself, it's like you've not arrived. And what was it that collected the feeding bottle from my mouth? News events. So set your goals right. Don't set targets. Of course, they were setting targets as goals. So, but first, become a disciplined trader. Becoming a disciplined trader that sticks to your plan, that sticks to the rules. That is a better goal to set than saying, I want to set a goal to make so and so amount. Set your goals right. Become a disciplined trader. Become a committed trader. Become a thorough trader that is analytical enough to do the right thing. So start from there so that you'll be able to now, as you are thinking through it and you are following through, all right, because it's from there now you have a system B. Number B there is system, trading system or strategy. Because of my time, let me run through it. Trading system or strategy. Because your goal is to become disciplined and you have adopted a trading system or trading strategy, if your goal is to become disciplined, that means sticking to what the system says is important. Even if you have for an entire week, the system you are using refuses to generate signals, you want to follow the system and not go by yourself to now do things. In fact, as a matter of fact, even till today, any day I go against my trading system rules, see what happens. Maybe the first try, it will give me some good profits and I get carried away. Guess what? The market will come back for those because I've broken the rules. You can break the rules once in a while, but don't let that be a habit. But when you get back to your system or strategy and follow the rules, you find out you recover. But the recovery will be gradual. So, system. You need to have a system to trade this news. And of course, have your trading routine. Have your trading routine. Talking about having a trading routine, when I used to trade only news events, back in the days, I was doing nothing like technical analysis. It's just about the news events, analyze them, and I was using the straddle method. So I just know, okay, this is the time to trade. When it's to trade an event from Japan and Australia, I have to wake up Nigeria time, 1:30 a.m., sometimes 12 midnight, you stay awake till then, sometimes you wake up 3 a.m., because you want to trade now. When I just wake up, if the news event is to come out by 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., I will wake up by maybe 1:45 and then put on my system. 5-minute system is up and running. And then I will now set up my straddle trades 10 to 5 minutes before the event. And then watch it under 5 minutes. The trade has opened and closed. And then I'll take my profit or loss and move on. And sincerely, following that system was so rewarding. Why? Because it was a system and I was disciplined about it, following the routines. Now, by 8 a.m. again, another event is coming up. I wake up again to take it. By 1:30 p.m. again, and that one is coming. So that was the way I was trading. And I remember a particular time going to point number 4, D. Please, if you know what is in 4D, if you can see what is in point D, type it in the chat box for me. Then I'll talk about it because I want to link it with this story. If you can read what is in point D, type it in the chat box. Okay, trading journal. Thank you very much. Good. Now, because I was following the routine, I was also journaling my trades. So 2008, there was a particular period, all right, that I was, of course, journaling my trades. I remember there was a particular time following the same strategy of just reading the news in 5 minutes. And once I set it up, straddle method, in 5 minutes is out. I see my win or loss. How was I doing it? When I come, I set up 5 minutes to the time because it's going to be volatile. I'll set up 5 pips stop loss, and then I'll leave my take profit open and then activate trailing stop. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll activate trailing stop. So for a particular period when I was reviewing, I found out that for that period, for example, I had 10 trades for that period, 10 trades. And of these 10 trades, I lost 7 of them. Take note, I lost 7 of them. Now, by the time I calculated the total losses of these 7 trades, remember my stop loss by the system I was using was 5 pips. Straddle method was 5 pips. And so I lost 5 pips times 7, giving me 35 pips loss for that period. And then I won just 3 of the trades. And guess what? The lowest of the trades I won was 40 pips. The other one was 80 something pips. And that was about 140 something pips following a system. And so by the time I looked at the journal, I was like, okay, then stick to the system. And then I stuck to the system for a while until the global meltdown of 2008 began, and things began to, behave. Sometimes even some brokers began to even misbehave. All right. So that was when I had some deals I did with Varying Gold that they really did something. And I quickly, as soon as I was putting my money there, I was actually collecting back the money. Of course, in those days, before you credit your account, you have to go to the bank and send it by bank wire. And then you wait for it to reflect 2 or 3 days after. And then if you want to make withdrawal, the same thing. If you want to make deposits, you go to the bank. If you want to make withdrawal, you have to also go to the bank and all of that. Of course, before your account is open, then you have to also send some documents, send it by DHL, and then you receive them. So all those things, but thank God for technology. All of these things, you don't have to go through again. So that's how you trade this. Now, let's get down to the next thing, because we've talked about trading plan. How do you now use technical analysis to identify trading opportunities? So first off, you have to refer to your trading plan, where you have your trading system or strategy. So remember I mentioned to you that in those days, I have to do the straddle method. Meanwhile, what is straddle method? Straddle is the type that you know that the news is coming up in 5 minutes. You just come and look at the market. You can put it either on 1 minute time frame or 5 minutes time frame. You just come and say, okay, I don't know which direction it will go. You use your horizontal line. You plot, okay, this is the top for this period. You just drag, put your what's it called, the horizontal line for that period. Okay, and then, okay, this is the highest, and then you come and bring on that one, this is the lowest, all right, for that period. And now you now say, okay, 5 pips above this, buy stop, 5 pips below this, sell stop, all right. And then once you've said that, you now wait 5 minutes after the news is released, it goes one direction, you win. If it goes up and down and come back to hit your stop loss, then you are out. You will be out on both sides. It can happen, actually. But if it goes in that direction, opens it without getting to your stop loss and comes back again and hit your stop loss, maybe if it does less than 10 pips and comes back, then you lose. Then you can open the other side and then you win. So the market actually can behave like that. Straddle method. And that method, some brokers frown at it. There's a broker that you and I know we were partnering with before. If you use straddle method and you make a profit in your account for more than 10% of what's in your account, they will cancel it. If you also lose more than 10% in your account, they will also cancel it. That's I found that out, the hard way. Anyway, so that's about that. So now, the next other thing, I'm still on my. Oh, sorry, I didn't show you my chart, did I? Did I show you my chart as I was explaining the straddle method?
No.
Could you type a yes or no? Oh, so sorry. Let me quickly share that chart. I actually thought I was showing you the chart. Sorry about that. I thought I was showing you the chart. Okay. Okay, this is what you can see that now. Can you see the chart now? Yes or no? Confirm if you can see the chart now. All right, great. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, what I said that the way
yes, I can see
straddle method. Okay, thank you. The way we trade the straddle method in those days is I could put it on 5 minutes or 1 minute. And now, as the news is about to come, the market is quiet. We'll now come and pick the horizontal line, find the top for that period, and then place it there, and then find the low and place it there. And then we'll now say price is trading in the middle here. So we now can set 5 or 10 pips above the high, we'll do buy stop. 5 or 10 pips below the low, we do sell stop. So as soon as the news is coming out, if it goes the up direction, you are in. If it goes in that low direction, you are in. So it now depends on if it gets to your target or your trailing stop before it reverses, or it will continue like that. So that's how we traded the straddle before I stopped using it. But today, how do you now trade it? How do you now trade it? Which is where the question on how do you use technical analysis to trade this, because that's what I refer to. I refer to your trading system. So for me now, I no longer use straddle system. How do we now use technical analysis to trade the news? First thing, you have to still follow the process we started with, which is first off, identify the volatile news events by going to your economic calendar. So I'll go back to economic calendar. Let's see, I use Forex Factory, for example, and I'm going to open the one for next week. Okay, we're already entering into October. So let me quickly type for October. Let's quickly type for October 2023. Let it open on Forex Factory, while I also open at FX Streets. On FX Streets, let's open that one too. We're going to go to next week on FX Streets. This is from Monday all the way to Friday. So I apply. Okay, now, so if you can see my FX Street screen, type what you see here that I'm highlighting. If you can see what I just highlighted, type it there. You can type any of the words that I highlighted. Let me be sure you can see. Type any of the words I highlighted there. Okay, Monday, great. Monday, October 2. So now what you can see that since we already filtered this, that is going to be for medium and high impact. Now you can see the time. So what you just do is that no matter what you are doing, if you have open trades, thank you, Monday, October 2, yes. If you have open trades, now you are trading your technical analysis using your trading system. Please, I beg you, make sure you have a trading system, a decent trading system, and stick to your trading system rules. Stick to your trading system rules. Like there was the time we treated the Asian rejection strategy here. All right, if that's what you're using, stick to whenever it gives you signals. When there's no signal, relax, rest. If you are using Fibonacci retracements, a strategy that we treated the other time too, and you don't find signal on 1 hour or 4 hours or any other time frame that you prefer, wait, rest. All right, there will always be a better trading time. So, but when you have already entered the position and you see that for that instrument, or the currency pair you are trading, there's a news event coming up, a major news event coming up that will affect that currency pair. If you are in profit and it's approaching that news time, let's say it's 30 minutes to the news, it's a major news event, and you already have 20 pips profit, what I would recommend you do at that point is to move your stop loss to either your break even, or you can take some 5 pips in about it. So when the news comes out, if it goes in your favor, what I will even do at that time is that I'm even move my stop loss a little ahead, but just leave your target where it is in any case, because the minimum you should go for really is 1:1 to 1 ratio. All right, you can approach 1:2 if you have developed the muscle for that 1:2, 1:3 risk to reward ratio. So if you have locked that in, allow the news to come out. If it favors you, you get more profits. If it doesn't favor you, at least you will not lose anything. That's one way to trade the news events. But if, for example, 30 minutes or 20 minutes to the event or 15 minutes to the event, the trade you opened is on minus 10 pips and your stop loss is minus 20, please cut the 10 pips. There will be another time to trade. Cut it. There will be another time to trade. And that's why you also need to trade with a broker that does not allow slippage. That does not allow slippage. It's being recorded, right? That's why it's good to have a broker that does not allow slippage. Because some brokers, when there is news event, you may get your stop loss and the thing will pass. You get your take profit, it will pass. That's why it's good you stick with a broker that doesn't allow slippage, like any broker that Pipsoclock recommends to you. Okay, good. So now you have outlined the news events, all right? you have outlined the news events. Now, you have not opened any position. This time, I've mentioned the cases of you have open positions, if it's winning, what to do, if it's losing, what to do. But you have not opened any position, and you see that there is a major event. Federal Reserve Chairman Powell will be making a speech by 3 p.m. on Monday. Friends, what you should do for these events is one thing. Stay away from the markets. Let the events happen, whether it's non-farm payroll, whether it's interest rate, whether it's unemployment rate, whether it's a bank speech, whether it's FOMC. Stay away from the market. Let the event come and go. 1 hour or 30 minutes after it has come and gone, it would have defined a trend. If either it cancels the previous trend or it validates it. Either it cancels the previous trend and enacts a new trend, or it validates the previous trend. And then you will now use your technical indicators to now project and set up your new trades. That is how to trade these news events. Okay, and I'm about rounding off. So based on that, risk management. How do you manage your risk? The same way you manage your risk, when you're trading technically. Make sure you set up your stop loss and your take profits. Make sure that your stop loss is your risk to reward ratio is at least 1 to 2. Minimum, if it is worse, 1 to 1 risk to reward ratio. That means that if you are risking 10 pips, make sure that you are winning at least 10 pips. Don't do risking 10 pips and you are targeting 5 pips. That's not a good strategy at all. All right, risk management, make sure you always use your stop loss. That's the bottom line. Secondly, manage your position size well, your loss size. Don't have, you have $100 in your account and you go and start trading 3.0 because you want to make quick gains. See, it will more easily wipe out your account than you make profits, because by the time it gets to go against you, my network yanked me off again. I think I was already rounding off. So if you got some value, just give me 777 in the chat box. You got some value in the from this, type 777. Let's confirm that I actually communicated to you. Type 777, type 777 in the chat box. If I actually communicated to you, type 777. All right, great. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, thank you very much. All right, there's let's go read out the questions that you have in the chat box there so we can take care of. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. God bless you. Enjoy your trading experience as you follow these rules. God bless you. Let's go have the floor.
Please, can we have a recorded version of it, please?
Yes, sir. It's been recorded, and by Monday you would have it on the Pipsoclock user portal. Once you just log in, you go to webinar, so it's going to be there for you to revisit. It's going to be there, and then you get an email. Letting you know that the recording of this session is live. Also, you have records of the previous webinars that we've had. Thank you so much, Mr. Ifeanyi Uche. Thank you for the session. I had to quickly get out my notepad and start taking notes because this is an interesting topic, and I want to believe that every one of us have learned one thing or the other. So if you have questions, please just put your questions in the chat box. Put your questions in the chat box, and Mr. Ifeanyi will be back to answer all your questions. And Messi, are you set for me? At this time, we want to quickly take you through the product and services of Skilling. So Skilling, at this time, Skilling is a broker that we recommend. Skilling is a broker that we recommend. And if you've been with us for a while, we've already told you, all the benefits, all the good things that you can get from trading with Skilling. And so Skilling is a broker that we recommend. And we have our client experience managers here. We have Messi, we have Mrs. Adams, and they'll take you through what you need to know about the products and services of skilling, and also what you need to do to get yourself verification and verified, I beg your pardon, to get yourself verified and to start enjoying all the benefits, that comes with skilling. And also, for us at Pipsoclock, we have some good things that we're already working on that we'll be pushing out very soon. So I want you to stay with us, stay with Pipsoclock. We have some very good reward products for you that you'll start to enjoy. As soon as it's available, by this new month, we'll get them to you, to let you know about those stuff. So, trust us, for being a member of the Pipsoclock community, we're always looking forward to, to bring out a lot of values for you. So we'll be doing that. We'll be doing that in the coming months. But at this time, I would quickly allow Mercy to take you through what skilling is about, the products and services of skilling. Mercy, you have the floor.
Hi, everyone. How is your Saturday going? Thank you for being here, and Mr. Ifeanyi, thank you for that wonderful session. And so, like Lekma said, can you please pull up my slide? I would walk you through, yes, about skilling products and services. And so if you've been with us for a little while, you know that skilling is a broker we recommend. And why do we recommend skilling? Skilling is a Scandinavian-owned fintech company. And then the purpose of skilling is to make trading simple and accessible to you in a transparent and secure environment. So if you ask why skilling, skilling because it's a globally regulated Forex broker. So your funds and your personal data are safe. That means whatever information on document you submit to skilling is safe and will not be shared with a third party. It has a heritage of trust, transparency, and fairness. And so you should expect no shady dealings on your trading activities. Skilling is as open and as transparent as as it should be. And then also skilling is based in 5 countries. It's in Seychelles, Cyprus, London, Malta, and Spain. Like I said, skilling is a globally regulated Forex broker. Is regulated by the Seychelles Financial Services Authority. So like I said, so why should you trade with skilling? On skilling, you'll enjoy superior trading conditions. You have access to over 900 instruments, including Forex and financial instruments, shares of companies, popular commodities, and indices from around the world. So if you are looking for a variety of trading, what's it called, instrument and Forex pairs, yes, skilling is the deal. Now, skilling has its spread is from as low as 0.1. So yes, on Forex majors, the spread are quite low from 0.1. And then there are no commission charges on skilling. And also there are no hidden charges. So whatever it is that you are being charged for is clearly displayed in your account currency. And at this time, that is spread. Also, of course, the platform is user friendly, and the customer service is great. Like I said, fully licensed and regulated. And then you can choose 3 different platforms to trade with. Now on skilling, you can either choose to trade with on MT4, that's on MT4, or on CTrader, or on the trader platform created by skilling itself. So 3 different platforms: CTrader, MT4, or on the platform created by skilling itself. And then leverage on skilling is up to 1,000. Now, so what should you know? What are the promotions you should know about? If you have not gotten your $30 bonus, it's waiting for you, and now is the time to claim it. Now, the $30 bonus is to welcome you, to give you a warm welcome to skilling, to say welcome to skilling, to register on skilling, and fund a minimum of $25. So you can fund any amount. It's not a no deposit bonus, it's a deposit bonus. So you fund a minimum of $25 and you'll be able to trade with welcome bonus for as long as you want. And then any profit that you make is withdrawable. You don't have to trade in a certain number of lot size before you withdraw your profit. As long as you make profit, you can withdraw it. Now there's a zero spread and zero commissions, and this happens every Thursday. So every Thursday in the week, Skilling will send you an email, or if you have the Skilling app, you will get a notification on your phone letting you know the particular currency pair, Forex pair that you can trade on that day with zero spread, zero commission. So if it's a pair that would normally warrant for you to pay commissions and spread, on that day there will be no commissions, no spread. Then you can receive up to $10,000 cash back. Yes, so you get real withdrawable cash deposited into your account on every close trade. So what happens is every month, you as you fund and you trade, and then of course on close trades you get a certain amount percentage of money is kept, and then it will be all added into your account at the beginning of a new month. So you receive a lump sum at the beginning of each new month, and you can get as up to $10,000. I think there's one more. Then there's the $888 lucky money. And how can you get this? You deposit $10,000 and then trade 10 lot size across 3 asset classes. And this trade must be open for more than 3 minutes, and the volume traded must total 1 million. The volume must total 1 million USD within 30 days after deposit. So after you meet this criteria, and after you have met all of these criteria, the bonus is also not withdrawable. You get the $888 bonus in your account, and once you are sure that you have attained this criteria, you only need to send an email to campaigns@skilling.com, and your bonus will be deposited into your account. So I hope that you would, if you have not started registered with Skilling, if you've not started your registration, this Saturday is a good time to get started so that you can be ready to enjoy all the amazing benefits on Skilling. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mercy. Thank you. And for the $888 lucky money is 1,000 naira deposit. Mercy mistakenly said $10,000. So you just need to deposit $1,000. Then you can go through all the requirements of the bonus, so that you can get it. And so for your registration, if you have not registered, or if you don't yet have, if you have not activated your profile with Skilling, please would give you an email address and the phone numbers you can call so that we can assist you with that and get started with Skilling. So very quickly, we'll also look at what the verification of Skilling is about. How do you go about the verification? I'll hand over to Ms. Ivana.
Thank you very much, Lekon. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today for this important webinar. We understand that when it comes to online trading, security and transparency, they are of utmost importance to traders, to we traders. And that is why we are here to guide you through the verification journey and to ensure that you have a clear understanding of the verification process and requirements. So just as Lekon said, if you haven't activated or you have not completed your verification, or you've not started your verification at all, this is the right time to do it, because you are missing a lot. And most of the offers that will be coming up on Pipsoclock, will be directed at clients who have, specifically completed their verification. So what you need to do is go to skilling.com, click on login. If you have activated your account, you just need to log in with your email address and password. If you haven't activated your account, then you need to activate it so you can have your password. You can set your password. So once you log in, it takes the first page that will come up. If you have not verified, it will come up for you to click on verify button to upload your documents for verification. So as soon as you click on the verify button, it takes you to the page for proof of identification, which is your ID card. So here we have the different acceptable documents by Skilling. We have the international passport. That is what is represented by passport. Then we have the national identity card. Under this national identity card, we have the NIN, which is the NIMC, and the voters card also can fit into this category. Then we also have driver's license. So what you need to do is to select the means of identification that you have and that is genuine, that hasn't expired. You know, your ID card, if it is the NIMC slip, you upload it. Doesn't have an expiry date. Or the voter's card, if it is up to 10 years and above, then it is expired and not acceptable. So once you do that, you are entitled, okay, yes, you are to click on the documents where you want to upload. That's the front page of the ID card, and also select the back page also. So for me, I selected the national identity card. I was able to upload the front page and also the back page. Once you do that, you click on continue, then it takes you to the next stage where you have to upload your proof of address. So here we have the different documents acceptable by skilling. We have the utility bill, we have the bank statements. For some of the government's issued documents, like sworn affidavits, and also you can use that too for your proof of address. Then also, once you select any of these documents, and then you're allowed to upload the documents. So once you upload these documents, for those of us who want to make use of bank statements, for example, you upload your bank statement. Your bank statement must have your full name on it. It must have the bank logo. It must be recent, like maybe not more than 6 months. And also it must be duly stamped and signed. The font of the text must align. It must not be scattered, so it doesn't look edited. It must be a genuine document for us to accept it. So for those of us who finding it difficult to upload any of these documents, once you upload the document and then it's being rejected, for example, maybe your proof of address is being rejected, what you need to do is just to reply to that email with your BVN number. Don't worry, the integrity and the security, the transparency of skilling is very high because skilling is regulated. So your data is very safe because there's something we call data protection policy, which skilling is also under that regulation. So don't worry, just reply with your BVN number and the address used in registering your BVN. If you can remember, back then when we were registering BVN, there's a particular address we use, maybe based on where you are living that time, or maybe you have a compound address that you use for all your verification. So what you need to do is just write out the address that you use in registering your BVN, and then the BVN number. Once you send it, that's automatic. Your proof of address will be approved. So if you are here and yet to activate or yet to complete your verification, you need to do that now. Thank you very much, Lekon.
Thank you so much for taking us through that verification process. So I would just like to quickly let you know that you can always email us at help@pipsoclock.com, or you can call any of the 2 phone numbers that you can see on the screen, 08066172403, or you can call 09038129463. And if you want to check the previous recordings of our webinars, you can just go to pipsoclock.com and click on the login button, or you can go to pipsoclock.com/user. Then it shows you the login where you can put in your email address and your password for Pipsoclock. Or if you have forgotten what your password is, you can just click on the forgot password and it will take you through the process. Once you're in the portal for Pipsoclock, you will see all the different things that we have. You have access to information analysis, signals, articles, video trainings, and also. Okay, so we're going to answer all your questions. If you have not yet messaged the chat box with your question, you can do that now, or you can signify by raising your hand. But first, we'll start with the first question. So we have a question from here. I'll just quickly read it. The question says, what do you think about BRICS thing? How will it affect the forex market? Can it really dethrone dollar, or is just a propaganda? So I believe the BRICS is the acronym for a certain number of countries that they've come together to form like a coalition. So, Mr. Ifeanyi, what do you think, from the question, what impact do you think this coalition will cause for the forex market? That's the question.
Okay, all right. Thank you for the question. All right, so BRICS, is a coalition of some country, about 5 countries: Britain, Russia, India, China, and one other country like that. So now that's South Africa, yes, South Africa. So what happens is that there's nothing that will dethrone the dollar. I don't believe there's anything that will ever dethrone the US dollar. However, whatever happens in these countries will affect their currencies, be it investments, be it maybe central bank announcements, be it their economic releases from the countries, be it the commodities that these countries control. For example, now when you talk about oil, we are talking about Russia and so on. So when anything that happens to Russia, of course, can affect global oil prices in one way or another. So when anything or metals, commodities, anything at all, or political events in these countries, so it will affect their currencies. You talk about the Russian ruble, you talk about the Brazilian real, you talk about the South African rand, you talk about the Chinese yuan, and so on, the Indian rupee and all that. So whatever happens, so now, and these countries, if you look at their currencies, there's the US dollar. So you can only trade their currencies with the US dollar. And when you're trading their currencies with the US dollar, in Forex, you have the majors, the minors, and then you have the exotic currencies and the crosses. So these currencies from these countries versus the US dollar form the exotic currencies. And the exotic currencies have widespread. So as a trader, why would you want to go to where you pay expensive fees? Because the spread is high. For example, trade the US dollar versus the South African rand, the spread is high. Meanwhile, and the liquidity is not that much. All right, yes, sometimes it can happen there and somehow you have a little impact on the other instruments, but why would you care? I've never bothered about them before, and so should you. Face the major currency pairs, face the one that will make you profits. You are not trying to exhibit any talent to anybody. We are in here for business, so you go for where it's easier for you to make money, sustainable money, and not where you want to trade to show that you are trading. There are some things that people pop up. I want to trade this instrument, I want to trade this. And I ask, is it for show off or is it for profit? Because why would I want to put money in what be more difficult for me to make profit? Right? If I am trading a pair, for example, on skilling, that the spread is just 1.2 or 2 pips maximum, and somebody is bringing an instrument that the spread is 30 pips, 50 pips, it doesn't make any economic sense. So literally that's what it's about. Nothing will end dollar, not with the throne, no currency will dethrone anybody, because even talk about the whole world using one currency, that time hasn't come. By the time it comes, some of us will no longer be here. So so long as we are all using our respective country currencies, there will be Forex, and dollar will not be dethroned. Likewise, any other instrument. I believe I've answered the question. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ifeanyi. I want to believe that question has been answered. Does anybody have any other question? You can signify by raising your hand. I have another question in the chat box. Where is your physical office located? So currently, the Pipsoclock team is working remotely. The Pipsoclock team is working remotely, so we are scattered around mostly Lagos and other locations. We used to have an office at Ajaye, but the office is currently closed because the team is working remotely. So we don't have our physical office is not open to clients at the moment. I believe I've answered that question. Any other question from anyone before we call it a day for today? Do you have any other question? Okay, Madam Ibironke, I've learned a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we're so glad that you've gotten value from this session. We're glad that you've gotten value from this session. And since there is no other question, I want to appreciate everyone for, making it a time with us today to learn about a new topic. We would have another session of the webinar very soon. We would send you emails. Please look out for our emails and register as soon as you get the email so that we can send you reminders. So we will have another topic, and we'll treat that topic very soon. And just like I said, look out for important announcements coming up from us from Pipsoclock. We've been hard at work, building very wonderful products for you, reward products for you, for being a member of our community. We are getting set to, to make the announcements and let you know about that. And it's going to be coming up very soon. Please be on the lookout for information from us, and you will learn how to be a part of it and how to benefit from it. So thank you for being a member of the Pipsoclock community. We wish you all the best. We wish you a successful trading in the coming new month of October, and ultimately for the rest of this year and always.